What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon, Kindle, and Create Space. A link will be in the description box below. As usual, go get it. PayPal link there also asked me to put it up, so I put it up. Thanks everybody for supporting. This video is entitled You Only Remember the Negative. So I was having a conversation with my son, and we were talking, and it keeps coming up in general. You only remember the negative stuff. He says it about me, I say it about him. And I'm telling him my perspective. He's trying to tell me his. I'm like, you're 13, you know what you're talking about. But we're going to go on. And here's the thing. And I've dealt with this because when I was younger, people called me a pessimist. And then nobody's really called me an optimist. But it went from pessimist to realist. And I get, if you got a pessimistic point of view, you only remember the negative stuff. People could say nice things to you, you're not going to remember. People going to do nice things for you, you're not going to remember. But when people do something negative to you or say something negative to you, you remember that for life. And in some ways, that's a bad thing. And what I mean by in some ways, like if you got bit by a rattlesnake, you should remember the negative. Like, I'm not going over there, rattlesnakes. I ain't going. But one of the things about that I found very, very negative about when you only remember the negative is you start making up negative stuff. And unfortunately, if you dealing with a person like me, I have a very, very good memory. I don't say a lot of things, but I remember a lot. And I remember patterns time. And from my experience, when a person just only remembers the negative, they only remember the negative that was said and done to them. They don't remember the negative that they do. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I was trying to explain to my son. Like, you can only remember the negative things that I might say or do, but you don't remember the process that got up to that. You don't remember all of these things that led up to that one experience. You don't remember the times, the months and years of disrespect that led to that blow up. You don't. You don't remember the things that you said, the things that you did, the things that your parents, your mother did, the things that your grandmother, you don't remember none of that. All of a sudden, all of that shit you forget. But then I told him, I said, but ironically, I know you lying because when you see me face to face, you remember everything. Because you scared that how I'm going to respond of all the negative stuff that was said or done. He's very nervous. But this goes for people also where, and me and my friends have had these discussions where, man, you did this, you did that, you said this to me, you did this to me. And then I'll be like, yeah, I did that. Yes, I said that. Did you forget about this, and this? And prior to that, this, and this? And prior to that, this. So you do realize I let you slide numerous times. I warned you. See, you only remember the negative because you remember the response, the consequences. You think it's over, because when I respond, people think I'm over the top. And I'm really not over the top, because people if you nip stuff in the bud, initially, you ain't gonna have that problem. Well, that's not true with some people. With a lot of people nowadays, you can tell people don't do that. And if you say it in a way if I just said it don't do that no more, man. They go, ugh. I remember I was with a family member and they was I was like, don't call me nigga. You a nigga, ain't you? I said, okay, I'm gonna punch you in your motherfucking mouth. I bet you ain't gonna call me no more. And it's like, what you mean? I don't understand. See, when I said don't do it, the immediate response is, you a nigga, ain't you? But they don't remember that part. They only remember the part about how I responded. You only remember the negative. And some people, and I've dealt with that. So, because for me, I just leave people alone, to be perfectly honest. I just I'm out. I'm gone. I ain't got time. Not today. And the same thing, like I said, when people view you in the negative, because if you only remember the negative, you only think in negative. So when you're talking to people, you're only hearing negative. Like, there's some people who are so negative that they think everything is an assault and attack. How you doing? I don't like the way you said hi. Huh? What's good? I don't like, no, something off about you. No, something off about your ass. Because you're looking for the offense. You're looking for the drama. And you don't realize you're creating it on your own. And I remember, I forgot where I was at. Somehow, I was somewhere with like a friend of mine. And basically, a person viewed an interaction one way because that's where they was at in their head. And the other people had to tell them, no, that's not what happened. We're like, huh? Yes, it is. No, that's not what happened. Like, you believed it because this is how you felt before you at the time it was going on. But whatever you had going on internally, that's not what happened externally between you and this person. You said this, they said that. You said, you mean this? They was like, You said, yes, you did. No, they didn't. And then you went off. It's like, wait, what? And here's the problem. When you only remember the negative, you're always the villainous victim. And I've had these situations, even with some family members of mine where they went too far because they were in a negative mindset, in a negative place, whether they were just mentally, physically, financially, and they were frustrated, so they took it out on me and my stuff the wrong way. And to a degree, I'm one of those people, I let it slide because I understand you might be going through something. But see, there's going to come one point, you ain't going to slide no more. And it was very uncomfortable for a few people like that. Like, how can I say this? Like, one of my friends, I don't do drugs. And I was sick. My friend had this habit of just taking unnecessary shots at me for no reason. And I was sick, and I was like, you all right? I said, I ain't feeling that hot. And for some odd reason, in the middle of the conversation, like, you sure you ain't on that stuff? But they meant it. And I was down and I was sick. I wasn't feeling good, but I perked up real. I was a motherfucker. And I just went off. And I hung up on them. And then they tried to keep calling back. Man, I'm sorry. Man. Click. Don't fucking call me, man. Because, because you want to be negative, you want to bring your negative shit to me. I wasn't feeling good. And now you want to take shots at me. Like, when I'm healthy, I don't care. But I ain't in the mood for it because I'm sick. And the reason I say this is because I was watching Q do commentary on Ready for Love, and part of these conversations, you were seeing people who remembered being offended by somebody, but not remembering how offensive they were to that same person or other people. And it was like a shock because they're so accustomed to being negative and living in a negative sense and talking to people in a negative sense, and everything is okay and everything, you're gonna let it slide, and that's just who I am, and I meant this, but no. You only remember the negative because you're negative the vast majority of the time. You don't understand how it is to be positive. You don't understand how it is to even be neutral. You don't understand how it is to be cordial. It's always a confrontation and a conflict. And it doesn't, and if you constantly get into it with people everywhere you go and you don't know these people, it's fucking you. It's not nobody else. If your conversations got to be arguments, it's you. If your phone conversation got to be arguments, it's you. If you go and order some food at the damn store and you wind up getting into it because of dumb shit, it's you. You get into the gas station, you get into it, people, it's you. You know what I'm saying? So you only remember the negative because you only remember people's responses to you. You don't remember how negative you are. And sometimes people got to show you, and then when people show you, it's like, that's me? Hell yeah, that's you. But I'm done. Like, share, subscribe. Catch you on the next one. Peace. I think peace. Hold up.